Call this Tuesday, November 16th, Brown County Commission meeting in order. We'll start off with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. First item, approve the agenda.
Move. Second.
Moved by Fikert, second by Weiss to approve the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have the second reading and the adoption of ordinance 205, medical cannabis.
Ordinance 205, an ordinance amending Title IV, Second Division, Brown County Ordinances as amended to issue medical cannabis establishment permits and/or licenses.
I'll move it.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Kipley to approve the adoption of ordinance 205. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Let the fun begin.
Yeah.
Next item, we have Chris Heeman, Weed and Pests, spraying weeds in Edmonds County. Good morning, Chris.
Morning, Chris.
Run out of weeds in Brown County.
Yeah, apparently I get
Worked myself out of house and home here.
Way to go.
Yeah, I had Mike Jager from Edmonds County, the highway superintendent and weed soup, called me, was it last month, asking if that's something that we'd be able to help with. They don't have a full-time sprayer. He's kind of splitting his duties between highway and weed and pest, and his main focus, of course, is on highway. But I guess their ditches are getting pretty bad. He's been posting for quite a while, trying to find someone to spray. Can't find anybody interested. He tried contacting Mid-Dakota Vegetation. They do the state highway bids in Brown County and Edmonds and a few other places, and they're backed up and they can't take on any more work. So he approached me and asked if I'd be willing to try, and I said, well, I can definitely look into it. It's something I'd be interested in doing. He's got about 385 miles total of ditches. So I think I figured it'd be, between maybe 40, 50, 60 hours total if we just did one round, if we were able to do the whole county. A couple of things I'd be worried about would be, of course, there'd be a little more maintenance, increase in chemical, probably be looking at some overtime, just the man hours that we would need to do it. Also be looking at a seasonal sprayer. Could even use one of those anyway, regardless of Edmonds County. We had, we had 8 counties, 8.5, I guess, signed up for spraying this fall. We got
Townships.
We got 4 of them done. We were able to go a lot later in the year than we normally could, but we had wind that we were fighting, and plus with the computer issues and everything that we had, I didn't have QuickBooks, so I was trying to get all my billing done last minute. So that kind of bit me in the behind. So regardless, the work is definitely there. They're interested in doing it. When I talked to them about a price, the price that we're quoting for privates is $100 an hour plus chemical. And I think we do, a 20% markup on any chemical that we use. So if that's something that you guys are okay with us doing, if they still want us to, he's still looking, trying to find someone. But I just kind of wanted to run it by you guys first to see what you thought, if you had any concerns, questions. Like I said, man hours would be one of my big issues, making sure we can do it. If we didn't do our second round in Brown County, which isn't that big of a deal, that's not something that we've done every year in the past anyway. We could do it then, be just fine. And I just want to make sure that we don't let our ditches kind of go to seed. My priority would basically be getting Brown County done first, townships, privates, everything that we have here, and then if they need help, and they might not want us to do the whole county, they might just say, $5,000 worth of spraying, go for it. These are the worst ditches, do this part. So I guess you guys have any thoughts, questions, concerns?
What would the revenue generate? Would it be profitable for us to do that? Because we gotta have additional equipment, more labor, by the time we put all that in, is it?
Yeah, it would definitely cover costs. We wouldn't be losing out on this or anything like that. It would be bringing in some revenue to the county. As far as the amount, like I said, $100 an hour, so we'd be looking at, you know, 5 to 6, 7,000 for the, you know, just one round, if they wanted more than one round. That we would definitely need, you know, additional help with seasonal sprayer. There's no way, I don't think we'd be able to do more than one round with what we've got now.
Chris had also mentioned at the last a month ago at the last weed board meeting that even some help in the office or for the billing and some clerical type stuff that would free Chris up a little bit more to go out and do a little more spraying. When he comes back, try to get back early enough so he can do the paperwork, he could hand some of that off. He had a part-time person that would come in and he could give those billings and stuff to, would help a bunch too. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to mention that.
Yeah, that was kind of, you know, towards the end of the year, you know, I didn't really have a lot of clerical work to do, with, you know, not having QuickBooks for the whole year.
Mhm.
So that definitely got in the way. And then trying to get everything in the fall, trying to get it done before we closed shop, I was scrambling pretty good. Yeah, I mean, clerical would definitely help out if I had someone to split that with.
Would, you know, be
Because,
with someone that could, you know, maybe spend 10 hours a week or whatever, a couple hours a day in the evening or later in the afternoon or whatever,
Yeah.
might help too. I don't know.
And finding someone who's better at paperwork probably wouldn't be that hard.
Your QuickBooks, is that gonna be something that you'll have access to?
That, I don't know. Still
That
waiting
would
to find out on that.
Be nice to have that, wouldn't it? I mean, if you had the QuickBooks, it would solve some of your issue.
It would help a little bit. The spreadsheet I've got set up now is just kinda, it looks like QuickBooks, you know, when I send out the invoices, but it's still just me manually entering and, it's not as error-proof. I guess it's relying on me to not be wrong, and that doesn't work.
One of the, I don't want to call it a concern, but one of the part of the conversation was the time to travel to get to the far end of Edmonds County. But when you really think about the distance in that, you go to the northwest corner of Brown County, or northeast corner, or northwest corner of Brown County isn't that much further.
Yeah, I mean-
So I had kind of suggested maybe some type of a mobilization fee or something, you know, to get into Edmonds County to do the job. And Chris said, well, you know, you start charging by the hour from the minute you leave the shop to the time you get out there. And then the other thing too is to make have Edmonds County make available a place to, you know, whether it be in Bowell or somewhere where they could fill up with, so they don't have to run all the way back, fill up with water and.
Right. And I think there'd be a few places there we should be able to do that, you know, I mean, they've got existing weed and pest, facility, I think, within the highway shop, and they've got, you know, like Leal and Bowdle, I think they've got places out there. Hosmer, I don't know if they have a shop there or not, but, yeah, I think we'd have a few options too, and I don't know if they'd want us to use their existing chemical that they got left over. I know they got a ton of Milestone that they ordered.
I don't remember, do they have any equipment? The county own any equipment? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think they do have a couple of spray trucks. I don't know exactly what they're using or what they're operating, but, I know they do have at least one.
Yeah.
Well, it appears like it's a bit of a moving target depending on what they're able to find for people and so forth. But
Right.
if you're willing to, you know, get it into the program and it doesn't hurt, you know, what you're trying to do in Brown County.
Right.
And you're willing to juggle that, I think, and, you know, philosophically, that, we'd okay it and allow you to try and manage it, figure out, you know, depending on what they want or need, which is a bit of a moving target, but if you can squeeze that in and make it work.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely
And
like
we
to
get
try.
compensated for it, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of when I talked about it in the shop with everybody and with the weed board too, it was under the understanding that, you know, like I said, Brown County would come first. We wouldn't do it if we were gonna be losing money on it or just breaking even, you know, it had to be worth their while. On kind of a selfish note too, I kinda like the idea of these county roads where a lot of hay is being hauled in. They have a lot of toad flax in Edmonds County, and if we can kinda stop it on their side before it comes over to Brown County, that would help us out as well, so.
Sure.
Yeah, since it's Edmonds County, maybe. If it was Marshall County, no.
Turn the wind direction, make it blow the other way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yep.
But no, I would trust you to be able to manage that,
Okay.
you know, as they solidify just exactly what their needs are. If they can hire
Sure.
somebody, if they can, you know, they probably, you know, they wouldn't need us, but if they can't,
Mhm.
that would be a viable option, and as long as
Right.
it doesn't, you know,
Yeah,
deter from what
if it
you're
doesn't
doing
affect
here,
us,
and you can
then-
squeeze it in and bring a little cash back in.
Sure.
Fine.
And it would just be the ditches too. I asked them about, like shoulder kill, rip-rap bridges, signposts, any bare ground, stuff like that. They're gonna do all that themselves, so they wouldn't need us for that. So it'd just be ditches.
Good deal.
So-
But I think there's, it sounds to me like there's maybe a little breakdown too as far as the commercial sprayers or the guys that are actually individual that is spraying
Mhm.
state highways. Sounds to me like some of the state highways aren't
Yeah.
getting covered, and at one point in time, Brown County Weed, program, I wouldn't say was in trouble, but basically, we were, we had an outside, contractor that wanted to have the opportunity to bid on it, and Brown County got cut out of it. And now that looks like it might ever slowly be coming back
Mhm.
the other way
Yeah.
again. So,
Yep, and I mean, yeah, I get why they did that, trying to help the private enterprises, within the state, which, yeah, I totally get, but they were only coming out once a year, and if you look at 12, I mean, you can tell, there's spurge everywhere, there's spots of total flax I see every now and then, and they just come out, spray it once, and I think they're just attacking thistle and spurge, and that's it.
well, the thing that a lot of people don't realize, there's a lot of people in the public that think, well, mow the road ditches. Well, the state of South Dakota's got noxious weeds that will spread into the field, not so much into the cultivated ground because they spray that, but it's the pasture land, the road ditches,
Right.
and it spreads. And when it spreads, it cuts productivity, and so there's a reason, there's a difference between noxious weeds and weeds they mow out of the road ditches.
Yeah.
And a lot of the county commissions across the state of South Dakota, they kind of push the weed program off to the side, when in fact it's state law that noxious weeds gotta be controlled, whether they're in the state highway, county highway, or in private property. And the county's got a list of noxious weeds that we designate every year, so.
And there's a window of opportunity when you can effectively go after them.
Right.
Yep, and that's why we do 3 times on our county highways. Like the total black doesn't bloom until later. Spurge is good in the fall as long as it's still viable, and there's just,
Yeah.
wormwood comes up in the spring, so it's.
That's wormwood sage is one that was just put on the state noxious weed list, had not been on the noxious weed list, but, and it's a matter of, a lot of it is education, trying to get the public to realize that, this isn't just, this is a problem, I mean, no question.
Yeah.
I would think it'd be easier for us to maintain the eastern side of Edmonds County. You get out to Bowell, that's 55 miles from the
Right.
Brown County line. That gets to be a long ways, might even be 60, because I
Yeah.
think Walworth County is west of Bowell yet.
Mhm.
And that's a long ways to truck. I mean, if some kind of an agreement would work out where if they could find somebody and split their county west to east,
Yeah.
it'd be a lot more economical for us. And then it would also
Right.
depend on your schedule, what you can maintain for Brown County. I guess
Mhm.
that's kind of the way I'd look at it. I'd like to go into a little caution, just say, well, we're gonna try to do all of Edmonds County. Well, you start getting 60 miles west.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
big territory.
Yeah.
Well, and I worry a little bit about the depreciation of the equipment too.
Yeah.
And replacement, because you start running that stuff a little harder and a little further, then you got more tires and you got more mileage. you
Right,
got-
exactly.
You got more depreciation, so somehow you need to figure out a way to at least recover that.
Yeah, yep, and that's what we kind of figured too, is that, yeah, like you said, there's gonna be a lot more maintenance involved. A few more flat tires here and there, just bouncing around. The road miles will probably be good for them. Normally around here, they're only going 10 miles an hour in a ditch, so maybe getting some highway miles would be kind of good for them, but,
Well, we've got a nice, Brown County's got a very, very nice set of weed spraying equipment, and it's very well taken care of, and it's, doesn't get cheaper to replace it.
right, yeah, our oldest one, our Dodge, is a 2007, and it works great, and the other ones are 2011 Fords, and the guys do kind of, they work them pretty hard in the ditch, but when they get them back to the shop, they get babied.
Yeah, you can tell if you walk in and look at the equipment, they take care of it.
Well, I think it is definitely viable to look at and see what works out of it, see what Edmonds County comes up with, and.
Yeah, and if we decide after that first year too that, it's either not working, we're not making anything off it, it's hurting us more than it's helping us, then, or they're trying to micromanage, whatever the case may be, we can just kind of bow out and say, it's not working for us, or we need to change it.
Well, you do a good conscientious job, and so I trust, you know, as their needs solidify, as it gets a little bit closer, that you'll be able to manage that and still do a good job
Sure.
with it. But, yeah, no, I think,
Okay, so
But
that,
I think there was some reference made to what you were saying too, as far as, you know, if there was somebody that would come in from the other direction, or if they would take care of the west side or whatever. I mean, I think it seemed to me like we had touched on that just a little bit too.
yeah, and I don't know, 'cause I think, when I was talking to, Jaeger in Edmonds, he, you know, when he was looking around, he pretty much decided that, you know, Brown County was the only one that really had an active weed program in the area. I think Walworth, they go out maybe once a year, and it's kind of a spot spray, do this highway, a few bridges. You know, Edmonds, McPherson, they don't really have a dedicated program, so much anymore. It's mainly focusing on highway. You know, every county that does that, where they try to split weed and pest with highway, or combine the two, it just basically turns into maintaining the highway, and the ditches kind of go on the wayside. You know, you know,
that's why I said you do a
find
good
anybody,
conscientious
so-
job of it, and
Yeah,
that's
well, I
probably
mean,
why they asked.
Yeah, and it really helps that we've got ours split off from highway too.
Yeah.
You know, it's, you know, we can kind of focus on our thing, Dirt focuses on his, and it works out best for both of us.
Yeah.
Well, it actually gives you the opportunity maybe to help out or to work with another county too.
Yeah.
Where if it was tied into the highway department, that wouldn't even be possible.
Right.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
This way you can utilize your guys, you know, too, so, you know, I would say too, that
If you can make it work as.
keep
you know,
track of it and see if it's-
See where it goes and let us
Okay.
know.
Sure, yeah, definitely. I mean, I definitely do wanna try it. I told the guys, I said, I'm excited to do this if we can make it work, and,
Like you said, there's some side benefits too, because they are our neighbors, and there's
Right.
a lot of traffic back and forth.
exactly.
If we can assist, you know, helping them minimize some of that, it'll help us go over.
Yep.
now you just need to get a contract with the state on Highway 12 all the way through both counties, then we're really in the business.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do them, us, and the state at the same time.
Well, on the way.
Yeah, yeah, but I guess that was my other concern too, if, you know, I don't know if I necessarily wanna post or ask to post for a seasonal, applicator right now. I told the guys to kinda keep an eye out if they know somebody who's retired or semi-retired that they think would be a good fit, that we'd maybe consider that, 'cause, you know, even with some work going to, if somebody helped me with clerical and, I could sit in a spray truck. I mean, we still have privates where we take the Kubota out, mosquito spraying, stuff like that, where we could definitely use another applicator for sure, so. So that's something, I guess, if we do get to that point, I'll bring it up again and see if we can hire a seasonal.
Okay.
But otherwise, it'll just be a little overtime, which the guys are excited about. They like extra hours for some reason, I don't know why.
It's to the paycheck.
Yep, exactly, so. I guess that's everything I had, so I'll get in contact with Mike, let him know, and I guess we'll take it from there.
Sounds good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.
Alrighty,
Thanks, Chris, good
I'm
luck.
gonna-
I'm not gonna make it to the 11:30 meeting
What's
today.
that?
I'm not gonna make it to the 11:30 meeting today.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
All right, I'll let him know.
yeah, thank you.
Have a good day.
Jeanette, you wanna take care of a few of your items?
Approve, minutes of November 9, 2021.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Weiss, to approve the general meeting minutes of November 19th. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Claims,
Move.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Weiss, to approve the claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
HR report.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Weiss, second by Sutton, to approve the HR report. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Fair board appointments.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Piker, second by Sutton, to approve the fair board appointments. I believe there was 3 of them that were approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And we're still short 3. And we're still short 3.
Yep, there may be a couple more coming.
That will be it.
Okay. That takes care of our agenda items. Any public comment or any other matters to come before the commission? I don't hear anything. Do we need an exec for personnel, I believe?
Personnel and legal.
Personnel and legal. Move.
Second.
Before you go into that, I'm gonna share this with you guys. This is coming up here in the next couple weeks. Remember, for concessions, we have to advertise those. So just a heads up, ordinance says that we gotta do it by the second, or advertise for proposals over a 2-week time frame at the date to be determined by the Brown County Commission with a submission deadline of no later than the first Tuesday of December of that year. So just a heads up, that's 3 weeks away. So next week, we'll be taking some action to figure out, with COVID, do we want to bump that one contract another year? Or what action you guys want to take on that? So just something to be thinking about.
And this is the one currently held by the Aberdeen Hockey Association for the clubhouse.
Correct. Because they would have been, 2018, 19, 20, I believe, but then we moved 20 to 21 because of COVID.
So we've already extended it 1 year.
So that one would be up, but then grandstand also, I believe, was the year, because remember, they were staggered.
Oh, I see.
So I think that one was 19, 20, and 21. So since they missed one of the three, do you want to just extend that one an extra year for grandstand?
I
Something we need
think
to
we
talk
should,
about.
since we did last year, would probably be fair.
So either that, then this year would be the beer gardens that we advertise for, just,
So next week, we just need to authorize advertising and getting it out there.
Yep,
Okay.
so if you read through that, I had forgotten, we actually put all that in ordinance, the
Okay.
time frame. So just review it if you would,
Okay?
and that's all.
We had a motion from Weiss, a second from Sutton to go into exec for personnel and legal. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are in exec. We are out of
I'm glad you got a
exec
high tolerance.
and no action as a
You used to have
result.
black hair.
It's not falling out.
I used to have hair.
I used to have hair.
Is there anything else to come before the commission?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Sutton, second by Weiss to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned till next Tuesday.